It's time for Come and Talk It with your host, Michael Cargill, brought to you by Texas Law Shield. Over the last decade, Michael has championed and supported the rights of law-abiding Texans to own and use firearms. He is the owner of Central Texas Gun Works, a veteran of the United States Army, and has achieved national exposure in such prestigious media outlets such as Forbes Magazine, Fox Business News, CNN Money, AOL, BBC World News, Huffington Post, and the New York Times. Cargill vigorously defends lawful gun ownership in this country without regard to party politics. And now, here's Michael Cargill.
Good day, Austin, Texas, the live music capital of the world. Let's praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. All right, so Connecticut gun stores have to make thousands of phone calls just to sell one firearm. Take a listen to this.
Right now, there are gun stores that are calling literally thousands of times during the day and are unable to get anybody to pick up the phone.
You know, I don't know what's going on in Connecticut. You know, they're saying, the dealers are saying, hey, they have to contact the state first. Then the state has to contact the NICS to do the background check. So that's what's happening in Connecticut. Take a listen to this.
Many of these stores have literally hundreds of customers lined up.
All right. And then he is working professionally raising a 7-year-old daughter. She holds a master's degree and has been working in the human resources field for more than 10 years. Holly is also an NRA instructor and focuses on pro bono training for women. Holly also she serves as the president of the Connecticut Citizens Defense League, a 40,000 member nonpartisan grassroots organization devoted to advocating rights affirmed by the Constitution of the United States and the state of Connecticut. She is the only woman in the U.S. leading a state-level 2A organization. She has also competed in the IDPA, the International Defense Pistol Association. She has also donated her time and energy to be the Connecticut delegate for the DC Project and Women for Gun Rights, an educational nonpartisan group of women from all 50 states who advocate for Second Amendment education over legislation. And gun rights are women's rights, and every woman must be prepared to be their own first responder. So let me welcome to the show Holly Sullivan, the president of CCDL. Holly, welcome to Come and Talk It.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, Holly. So tell us, what is going on in Connecticut? What is the procedure? I kind of want you to tell us, how do we get to where we are today? You know, how did Connecticut get to where they can't contact the NICS, the FBI system, directly like we do here in Texas?
Sure. Yeah. So here in the state of Connecticut, and there are other states that do this, but the vast majority of states in the United States just use the federal NICS system, which has proven to be reliable, quick, reasonably fast. You're out in a few minutes. Here in the state of Connecticut, the state of Connecticut decided years ago that they could do it better. So our FFLs have to actually pick up a physical phone and dial a number and wait to speak to an individual who will issue them an authorization number. And this has to happen for every single firearm that is sold in the state. The problem is that the system has become increasingly more unreliable to a point that in the last couple of weeks, they went through an upgrade that has completely collapsed the system. So there are now probably thousands of buyers in this state who have paid for their firearms. Some may be in urgent need of their firearms, and they cannot have them because the state is not answering the phone.
Okay. All right. So, wow, that's pretty crazy. So now Connecticut, they've done some changes to the system where something has been added like lately, right?
So they've claimed that they're doing a software upgrade and that they're improving the system. However, the problem is that you have to have some sort of method for people to be able to exercise their constitutionally protected rights, let these individual FFLs maintain their business and keep it functional. And we are not in that place. I think we're on day 12. Some of these FFLs have not had a single transfer go through in nearly 2 weeks. So not only do they have lights to keep on, they've got families to feed, they've got staff, and there's no sales going out or trickling of very few sales. It might be 1 or 2 sales in the whole day, and that's no way to keep their business afloat. And it's certainly no way for the rights of the people to be recognized, and give them the right that they have to keep and bear arms.
Right. And I want people to understand, here in Texas, you walk into the gun store, you fill out the 4473. We contact the NICS either on telephone or you can type it into a system. We actually choose to type it into that system, and we get a response back either immediately within seconds, or it could be minutes. It's actually a pretty fast response. And then when the system is really busy, then it takes, it could take, maybe 15, maybe 20 minutes, the longest, before you get a response back if they're researching. And they'll tell you, proceed, out to go. The person goes with the gun, out they go. Or delayed, you have to wait 3 business days. Or denied. And if you're denied, that means you're probably answered something wrong on the form there. And so we get a response, pretty quick. But that's not happening. That doesn't happen everywhere. And in Connecticut, they're just as busy as we are here in Texas. And in Connecticut, you're walking to the gun store, you're going to buy a gun, maybe something happened in your life, maybe, something's going on, maybe you just want to go hunting or something like that. Maybe you need it for self-defense, maybe you just want it because you want one. You walk to the gun store, you can't walk out with that gun. It may take you days. It could take you weeks to get the firearm, to get a response back from the NICS. They're having to make at least 1,000 phone calls for one person to get the okay. And that is not right. This is what Holly is saying, is this is a protective right. This is the Second Amendment. Driving a vehicle is a privilege. A gun is a right. This is Michael Cargill, and you are listening to Come and Talk It.
This is Colion Noir, and you're listening to Come and Talk It with Michael Cargill.
Up a gun shop in Austin, Texas. At my shop, I teach people to be law-abiding and how to safely use their firearm. On page 46, going to talk about Penal Code Section 46.02. The day that ban went into effect, I went into my local ATF in Austin and turned over my bump stock because I'm a law-abiding citizen. But I wasn't going down without a legal fight. So that's why I reached out to NCLA.
NCLA is representing Michael Cargill because federal agencies do not have the power to rewrite statutes. Bump stocks are not machine guns. If Congress wants to change the law and ban bump stocks, it certainly can do so. But we can't have the executive branch rewriting a statute and putting people in jail for up to 10 years.
It's a problem because, this government agency has said, you know what, something that is legal is now illegal, and we're going to confiscate it from you, and we're not going to compensate you for it, and you're going to become a criminal.
The goal of our case here is to tell the ATF that they can't get away with this kind of administrative lawmaking. This isn't constitutionally permissible, and this goes against everything that our nation was founded on.
The bump stock ban turned innocent law-abiding citizens into criminals overnight, even though they were compliant with the statute. And that's not right.
This case is not about where you stand on bump stocks. It's about the rule of law. It's about whether an agency can rewrite a statute and turn a law-abiding citizen into a criminal. If the ATF can ban bump stocks, any agency can ban anything.
Welcome back to Come and Talk It. And now here's Michael Cargill.
All right, so we're back, and we're talking with a representative from Connecticut here, a civilian in Connecticut that's standing up and saying, something is wrong and we need to call attention to this. Everyone needs to hear this information. This is breaking news out of Connecticut. Breaking news, people. You have the state of Connecticut is holding up gun owners and dealers from doing the transaction and gun owners from getting access to their firearms. A dealer has to make 1,000 phone calls for one sale, and this is unacceptable. And so we have Holly Sullivan, who's the president of CCDL, Connecticut Citizens Defense League, on Skype here, and she's telling us about this. And so, Holly, tell me, what is the state doing to fix this problem?
Well, I can tell you it got a little bit worse today. So
Uh-oh.
FFLs this morning received an email around 10 after 10 this morning that the system was down entirely, that there were no transactions going through. So I'm not terribly encouraged that it's gotten better. But, we shall see. At the end of the day, no matter what side of the gun debate somebody is on, I would hope that all Americans would look at this situation and say, what would happen if come November, the state simply said, our software is out of date, so nobody's voting this November, maybe in January. Would that be okay in any other constitutional issue? So I do truly hope that people hear how poorly handled this is, and that there needs to be some immediate relief, not only for the FFLs, but for the buyers, those who are waiting for their firearms. It's a complete halt to the system.
And you have to understand what Holly's saying. The voting is a constitution protected right. And so is, access to a firearm. That's a constitutional protected right. So you can't just pick and choose what portion of the Constitution you're going to support. We're saying, hey, they all should be given equal attention. Am I right, Holly?
Yep.
All right,
absolutely. So none of our rights outweigh others. I think there's certain people who feel a certain way about certain rights, but that doesn't mean that any of the others are any less important or are any less that we're entitled to them any less than any others.
All right. So now all this stuff just came about, I guess, a week ago. I'm trying to understand this. So is this a bill that was passed before the Connecticut assembly or legislature or something like that? Is why we got to this point where you guys have to do this?
Right. So it is the way that the state has been doing it for many, many years is that they have their own system. I think it's been at least 8 years or so that they've been doing this way, if not longer. It predates my time in this state. And there are other states that do it as well. I believe Pennsylvania has their own system. The difference is that theirs seems to work. Ours is not working. And that's unacceptable. So whether the state needs to get their act in order or get us on the federal NICS system so that we are able to exercise these rights and these shops are able to do business, the state needs to fix this now.
Wow. And yeah, I'm not sure why you're having to even go through the state in the first place when you're going through the FBI, which does a thorough background check.
Right. Yeah. Correct. And if there's one thing that we've seen here in this very blue, very deep in debt state, is that when the state gets involved, it doesn't always go seamlessly, and this is absolutely no exception. So gun owners pay about $240 just to get their permit. All of this money, there's plenty of funding, whether it's the taxes that we're paying on these items, whether it's our permit fees. All of this money has clearly not gone into reinforcing the system and keeping it up to date with technology in 2021. And virtually every other state is relying on federal NICS, which is a proven reliable system. So, that's something that the state needs to address immediately, because every day that goes by is another day that a law-abiding, background-checked, vetted individual goes without their firearm.
Yeah, what other item do you walk into a store to purchase this item and you get a FBI background check done in you in order to be able to walk out the store with that item?
Right. And on top of that, here in the state of Connecticut, we have a two-tier permit system. So it is not, Texas, you guys have had a great year. We're very envious. We hope that we get there someday as well. But for Connecticut residents, in order to even have the right to purchase a firearm or buy ammunition, you have to get your permit or an eligibility certificate. So the way that you start this process is that you have to go to your local municipality and apply for a local permit. That is not expected to take more than 8 weeks per statute. However, a lot of the time it takes a lot longer than 8 weeks. I know people that are on 8 months. So at that point in time, once you get issued your local permit, which does not allow you to buy a firearm or ammunition, then you have to make an appointment to go to the state, in which case then the state issues your real permit. So this whole process for many people can take them a year. You're having background checks run. By the time you are purchasing a firearm, you have had 5 levels of background checks run on you. Every single time that you go through each step in this process, your background is being done. There is absolutely no excuse in this day and age that there would be such a massive collapse of the system that people are not able to exercise their rights for such a long period of time. We've seen federal NICS, maybe it's a 20-minute holdup, not 2 weeks.
Right. And I'm a little confused, Holly, because in Texas, if you have your license to carry a handgun, you have your permit to carry a handgun, you can walk into the gun store, fill out the 4473. They write down your handgun license information, and then you walk out with the gun because your background check's already been done. We don't have to contact the NICS, the FBI. So that's not the same in Connecticut.
No. So, and as far as every detail of what they do in that process, I don't know that we're even privy to everything that state police is doing. But it clearly isn't working because these shops will hit redial for hours and hours. One of the shops not too far from here has 8 employees on staff that will spend their entire day just hitting redial on 3 or 4 cell phones, hoping that somebody will pick up. And sometimes they have had days that nobody picks up.
And if you get through, it's like winning the lottery.
It is like winning the lottery. Yep. And even at that, you might have 45 customers that are waiting and they'll cap you off at 3 or 5 numbers and you're done.
All right.
So it's not even like you get to clear out your backlog.
So Holly, what are you guys doing to fight this? Because this is a fight, and
Sure.
someone needs to go to jail, go to court. We need to sue someone. Something needs to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Connecticut Citizens Defense League actually filed for an emergency injunction previously in COVID. So in April of 2020, the governor in the state of Connecticut ceased the requirement for fingerprinting for permit applicants. At that point in time, my organization, the Connecticut Citizens Defense League, filed a federal lawsuit seeking an emergency injunction against Governor Lamont, which we won. At this point in time, we have filed a motion to get back into court seeking some emergency relief, and that is still playing out right now. So right now we're sort of in that heat of litigation. Things are developing, and we are doing our fundraising and making sure that this grassroots organization stands by our FFLs and our members and can take care of these legal expenses to make sure that we have our day in court.
Wow, because something's definitely got to be done, and I'm helping you guys out because I'm actually a witness for you guys in your lawsuit against the state. My attorney contacted me and said, "Hey, Michael, you're an FFL dealer. Are you willing to help, the state of Connecticut out and the civilians of Connecticut, with this lawsuit and be a witness?" And I said, "Absolutely. You give me a call, I'm there. I will definitely be there." So we signed an affidavit to you be a witness, in this case, because something's got to be done. You guys are doing what you can, and I'm going to do all the way from Texas. We're going to do what we can to help you in Connecticut because we are all in this fight together. We're gun owners. We believe in all of our constitutional protected rights, not just the one, we believe in all of them, and we've got to help each other out when we're in trouble. And you sound the alarm, and we're coming to help. We're going to be there, We're going to be there. We're going to help you out, and we're going to help you with this fight. And I really appreciate what you're doing. You're standing up and you're saying, you know what? I'm going to lead this charge. We're going to stand with you. I really appreciate you, Holly.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And check us out at ccdl.us. There's a donate button for anybody who's willing to help, because what happens in states like this, New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, California, it does spread and it comes to other states. And we need to keep these types of things squelched where they are, so that they don't become problematic throughout the United States.
Absolutely. Thank you, Holly Sullivan. Holly Sullivan, the president of CCDL, the Connecticut Citizens Defense League. She just told you. She's giving you the call to action. They need help in Connecticut. We got to stop this. As goes Connecticut, will go the rest of this country if we do not stop it. Because if they see that it's working to stop you from buying a gun in Connecticut, they will do it in other states. It is contagious. We got to stop this right now. Stand up and fight and help out Connecticut. Because as goes Connecticut, we'll go the rest of this country. Thank you, Holly. Appreciate you, from the Connecticut Citizens Defense League, the president there. We come back from the break. We're going to talk about the pandemic, the virus. Am I obligated to tell customers or students if I have or have not been vaccinated? I'm an instructor and I'm a business owner. Am I obligated to tell my customers or my students if I have or have not been vaccinated? We're going to talk about that. We come back from the break. This is Michael Cargill, and you are listening to Come and Talk It.
Folks, this is Doug Man Jones. And I get my gun news from Michael Cargill at Come and Talk It.
Whether it's a typical traffic stop or you're just involved in a use of force incident, encounters with law enforcement can be scary and stressful. In the heat of the moment, you may inadvertently say something you don't mean or make an inconsistent statement. These are red flags for officers, and if they think you're lying or your story doesn't add up, they might arrest you and let the criminal justice system decide your fate. Police officers are trained to get information from you without making the interaction seem like a formal interrogation. But remember, from the moment an officer arrives on scene, everything you say and everything you do will be scrutinized in court. The prosecuting attorney will attempt to use anything and everything against you. So what do you say? You say, I invoke my right to remain silent, and then let your attorney interact with law enforcement on your behalf. One important note though, do not throw common sense out the window. For example, if the intruder's hiding somewhere in your house when the police arrive, or if you saw the perpetrator pitch his weapon into your backyard, quickly tell the police and then stop talking. You might ask, what about my rights? What if the police never read me my Miranda rights? Miranda rights is the common name for a collection of rights contained in the Miranda warnings, given to suspects when they're placed under arrest. The warning comes from a 1966 Supreme Court case, Miranda v. Arizona. In that case, the court held that statements from a custodial interrogation would not be admissible unless proper procedural safeguards were in place to protect the defendant's Fifth Amendment rights. We've all seen these warnings on TV and movies. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have an attorney. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, and so on. So do police have to read you your rights? No. It's important to note that officers are not required to read you these rights unless you're in custody and subjected to interrogation. If the police show up to a crime scene and start asking you general questions and you voluntarily tell them everything that happened, those statements can be used against you regardless of the Miranda warnings because you're not in custody. If you're put in handcuffs but you say something incriminating on your own without being questioned, those statements can and will be used against you because you're not being interrogated. You're just starting to spout off. This is why it's imperative that you know your rights and you shouldn't rely on the police to read them to you. Affirmatively invoke your rights. Say, I'm invoking my right to remain silent and my right to my attorney.
Welcome back to Come and Talk It. And now here's Michael Cargill.
All right, so we're back, and I want to talk about the vaccine, the shot. You know, if you decide to get the COVID-19 vaccine, you know, you decide to get that shot, or if you decide not to, you're you're an anti-vaxxer, anti-vaccine. Are you obligated to tell people if you've been vaccinated or not vaccinated? You know, I had some students today in a class, and for the first time, I had a group of students. One student in the classroom that actually said, you know, hey, have you been vaccinated? And wanted to ask everyone in the room, had they been vaccinated? You know, and I thought about that for a second. I said, you know what? I don't feel like I have to tell you that. I don't like for anyone to know my medical history. You know, if I tell you that, then I need to tell you everything about me. You know, what's my HIV status? You know, if I've had syphilis, you know, I should tell you all the other shots and things that I've had. You know, I think that's personal. My medical history is my personal business, and I don't feel like I have to tell anyone my medical history. And our call-in number, I want you to give us a call. Our call-in number is 512-643-5483. That's 512-643-5483. Because I want to know your opinion on this. You know, am I wrong? Am I right? Am I obligated to tell people my medical history? You know, I thought initially in this country we had HIPAA laws. And I understand for HIPAA, I guess, doesn't exist when it comes to COVID for some strange reason. You know, so, you know, what are some of the laws, you know, what are some of the things I'm supposed to do? You know, do I have to do this? So we have Fabian inside the studio.
Yes.
And so, Fabian, you know, what's your thought?
Okay, so first, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
First, the whole HIPAA thing, that's a patient-doctor confidentiality kind of thing.
Okay.
That has nothing to do when someone asks you publicly, you know, hey, do you have tattoos? You go, that's HIPAA. That's incorrect. You're using it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's for your doctor. They don't disclose your medical history with anyone else. So if I ask you if you have a tattoo, do you not engage? Do you say, hey, that's not your right.
I could lie to you.
Yeah, you could. Absolutely. No, right, exactly. You could. Now, what I don't understand is, what is the defense on just saying yes or no? Why does it have to be, hey, back off, man, back off?
Why do I have to answer at all?
Yeah, but why do you feel the need to be defensive about just saying, hey, no, I'm not vaxxed? And okay, you know what? And it would be a better discussion if you would just give me your explanation as to why you're not. Give me your reasoning why you're not. And also, you saying no, you're not, well, then that other person can then back away, or they can engage, or they cannot. I just don't understand why there's a standoff.
Okay.
Why there has to be a standoff.
Our call-in number is 512-643-5483. That's 512-643-5483. Come and talk it. Tell me your thoughts on this. Let's go to line 1, Raquel in South Austin. Raquel, you're on Come and Talk It.
Hi there. Where everybody at Habana says hello.
What's up, Habana? How you doing?
Yeah.
That's my stomach. And by the way,
Austin,
that is Habana Bar and Grill. That's right. They're a Cuban restaurant. Habana Cuban restaurant on South Congress in South Austin, SoCo. The best Cuban food in the state of Texas. Let me tell you. If you want some drinks, you want to get a, what do you call it, a Cuban sandwich, you go to Habana SoCo.
No, I want the elitist Fritas.
You want
That's what I want.
The elitist Fritas. I like to get me a drink. I like a frozen drink. You know, I like it. I like to get the mojito.
I like the orange thing.
I like the frojito. I like the mango Michael. You got to ask the bartender for that
that's
one.
the one.
Yeah, just ask the bartender.
Well, we all love you here from Habana, SoCo, but I have to weigh in on this controversial debate.
And you're not an employee of the restaurant or anything like that. You're just a customer.
I'm just a customer.
All right, just a customer. All right, go ahead.
So I'm not affiliated with them. No, my opinion is only the opinion of Dr. Raquel Garcia, and I don't feel like you're obligated to tell people whether you're vaccinated or not. I just feel it's like a health issue where it's just common courtesy. You know, if you're not vaccinated, the CDC, you know, all the statistics are showing that those are the people that are getting infected with the Delta variant. And the other people that have gone and got their vaccines, it's sort of a protection both ways. But there's definitely no obligation. This is America. You're not obligated to disclose anything of your personal life. But I also agree with Fabian on that end, where why is it even an issue to answer the question? It's a simple yes or no so that you can act accordingly.
Yeah, Michael, why don't you just answer every question that whoever asks you asks?
Yeah. So, what's your sexual orientation?
Well, you
Do I
can
have to answer that?
No, you can say, I don't want to answer that. You can say no, but it just, and no one's asking for your medical history.
Mhm.
Nobody is trying to dive into your history. Everyone is right now at the matter of hand right now. Like what's important right now is just, are you vaccinated or not? That's what
I
everyone's
have to
asking.
stop you right there
Okay.
because that is your medical history.
Okay.
You say, oh, you don't have to say your
Okay,
medical
yeah, no,
history.
no, but
Just
you
tell
like-
me
but you like
about
to-
your medical history.
No, you're diving in. No, you like to think that people are going to dive in real deep, do a deep dive on, okay, and then now that I got an answer on that, now I want an answer on this. And now I want to answer. No, nobody cares about that. I'm just asking, yes or no, are you vaxxed? Oh, okay, you're not? Great. Well, now I can act accordingly, like
All right.
Raquel said.
Our call-in number is 512-643-5483. That's 512-643-5483. Raquel, let me go back to Raquel. Raquel, I want to ask you this. Have you ever had an abortion?
I choose the fifth.
See, you don't want to answer that question. And see, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to be mean here. So if you don't have to answer that question, then I don't have to answer your question to tell you whether or not I've been vaccinated or not. Right. My body, my choice.
That's true, but don't. You have to respect the 6 feet apart thing.
Okay. Well, all right. Let me ask you this. So Fabian.
Yeah.
Oh man, do I really dig into this? Do I want to be mean?
I mean, be mean, I guess.
No, I'm not going to be mean.
No,
Hold on.
okay,
Let's put
okay.
Raquel on hold for a
Okay,
second. I want to
all
come
right.
back to Raquel. Let's go to John. John in Gerald, Texas. John, you're on with Come and Talk It, sir.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Love the show. My big thing that it's like this is a stigmata is what it's becoming. It's like the A for adulterous back in the day. It's like the Jewish star. If you don't have your vaccine, you're a stigma now. You're in a stigmata class of citizens. And I was in the military. I've had more vaccines than I can even count pumped into my body. You didn't get a choice, but I signed up for that. I knew I had to do what I had to do in order to serve, but to tell me right now that say, hey, a lot of those drugs that I got pumped with, they're not on the market anymore. Why? Because they found out 10, 15 years later, ooh, man, those mess up your innards. Those do this to you. Those mess up with certain organs. And I have a really hard time. Like if you're immunocompromised, go ahead and get it. If you're scared, do what you got to do. I get it. But telling healthy 17-year-olds, healthy 12-year-olds, healthy young kids to go get it when we don't know any long-term consequences, that's just scientifically irresponsible.
Right. Here on the show, we're not advocating that people get or do not get the vaccine. We think that people should talk to their doctor and see what their doctor says. And we're certainly not advocating for anyone with immunocompromised system get it. Those people should talk
and
to their doctor.
I'm not saying for anybody to get it or not get it. I'm saying everybody needs to make their own choice, but it's turning into a stigmata. It's like if you have an NRA sticker on your car, it's a stigmata. They're like, oh, they're a gun-wielding nut. You know what I mean? It's kind of that same thing that people want to put on people, and then they want to come up to you and say, well, are you vaccinated? I'm like, no. They're like, well, why aren't you wearing a face mask? I'm like, because I'm not going to wear a diaper on my mouth. I've been in the military. I know what an N95 mask. I know what mock gear is. This diaper on my face isn't going to protect me from you if you're sick, and it's not going to protect you if I'm sick. It's just science.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say, okay, yeah, it is science, and yes, we we don't know what long-term effects it's going to have. I mean, I feel like that's with anything we do.
We've studied certain things and we haven't studied other things.
Right. And so, I mean, okay, so what? So you're going to wait 5-10 years down the road. Oh, and you died. And then you go, oh man, I should have had it. Or you know what? Or maybe 5-10 years down the road, people who did get vaxxed get sick.
The question at hand is, though, am I obligated to tell people if I had it or had not?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to argue. Because I don't want to argue the issue of should you get it, should you not get it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to argue that at all.
I think it's responsible. You know, you as a business owner, that I think, and to say yes or no, and then your customers can act accordingly. Like Raquel said, you can act accordingly after you have said yeah or no. But to deny, to try to like just back, you know, I don't see why people would deny whether they did or they did not.
Okay.
Like,
let me ask you this favor. So later on tonight, you're going to have sex, and your partner's going to ask you, the person that you slept with before me, did you wear a condom with that person? Would you answer that question?
Well, yeah. Yes, I would.
Would you be truthful?
I mean, why not? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I just need to know.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you take any antidepressants or any medication like that, Fabian?
No, I don't.
Do you take any prescription medications?
No, I don't.
None at all?
None. No.
Now, on the other side of this, I'm going to
see, I feel freely to answer that, right? Like, okay. I'm okay
because you don't take any.
So I'm going to be.
If I did, I would also be honest.
And I'm going to jump back and forth on this, you know, and I'm going to jump on people on the other side of this, you know. And I know we're talking about the question at hand is, you know, are we obligated to tell someone if you have or have not, you know, gotten the vaccine? And I, you know, and there are people, I have conversations with people in the gun store because we have these conversations about getting the vaccine, not getting the vaccine, why I don't want to get the vaccine, why people should get the vaccine. I get people that tell me their opinions all the time. They'll tell me what they think I should do. You know, we received letters in the mail. You know, we're going to post, and when we come back from the break, I'm going to show you one of the letters I received this week or last week in the mail from the U.S. mail, the post office, about why, you know, a person should not take the vaccine. We come back from the break. This is Michael Cargill, and you are listening to Come and Talk It.
Peace, this is Maj Toure. You're listening to Come and Talk It Radio with Michael Cargill.
Hello, my name is Edwin Walker. I'm an independent program attorney with Texas Law Shield. I want to talk to you today about an issue that we see on a daily basis. In fact, you yourself will encounter it on a daily basis, and that is the subject of road rage. I am sure that you have all seen road rage. You may have actually been involved in a road rage incident. Now, if you're a responsible gun owner, I'm going to give you a few words of advice on how to react when you find yourself in one of these unfortunate road rage incidents. While on the roadways, we all observe something that makes us upset. Whether it's poor driving, unsafe driving, or just simply somebody being very discourteous. By all means, you should restrain yourself from engaging that person and telling them how bad their actions were, because this can be perceived as an act of road rage. If you're a lawful gun owner, you have a firearm in your vehicle, you do not want to be viewed as the aggressor in a road rage situation. Now, with regard to a situation where an individual has chosen to rage against you, and you are the actual victim of the road rage, if you and the other individuals are still in their automobiles, do not use your firearm to respond to any of the rager's activities. This is because law enforcement views the fact that you're both still safely in your metal boxes as removing any threat of immediacy that you may be harmed. So please, if you have a gun, somebody is raging against you, forget you have a gun. Don't display it, don't brandish it, don't show it, don't point it, and for God's sake, don't fire it. This could result in a lot of trouble for you. Now let's look at a situation where a road rage incident has escalated. It has escalated to the point where one of the participants has actually gotten out of their vehicle. We recommend that you stay in your vehicle at all times. Do not exit your vehicle, because the person who exits their vehicle is going to be looked at as the aggressor. If the other individual has exited their vehicle and they are not in contact with your vehicle and they do not have a weapon, then do not feel that you can display your weapon in an act of self-defense. People are allowed to just simply stand there and scream at you, scream whatever they want. Until they make a demonstrative effort to try to harm you, there is no immediate threat that would justify displaying or shooting or brandishing your firearm. Now, in the event that the person shows their own weapon, in particular a firearm, the existence of their weapon would give you reasonable belief that there was an immediate threat.
Welcome back to Come and Talk It. And now here's Michael Cargill.
All right, so am I obligated to tell customers or students if I have or have not been vaccinated? I'm a business owner. I'm an instructor. I stand in front of a classroom to teach the class. Am I obligated to stand in front of that classroom and inform them if I have or have not been vaccinated? And that's the question that we're talking about today. Let's go to the phone lines. Our phone number is 512-643-5483. That's 512-643-5483. Come and talk it. All right, so let's go to Stephen. Stephen Ware. You're on with Come and Talk It, sir.
Yes. So, as a business owner myself, I feel it falls under HIPAA. The other thing that I run into, not even business related, but just being out and people asking whether I know them or not, if I've been vaccinated. People get so hostile if they've had the vaccine and you haven't. And, I have medical issues. I actually am allergic to what they call PEG, which is in most vaccines. And I actually go into anaphylactic shock from getting them, including especially tetanus shot. And that's one of the, basically the, I don't know what you want to call it, the bubble that vaccine sits in to be injected into is the PEG. And it's got a long 26-letter name to it. So it's one of those things. I can't get the shot. If I get the shot, then chances are I'm going to end up in the hospital for a week or more and stop breathing and have to go through this whole process of, being injected with any histamines and other stuff to help me, breathe. So it's one of those things. It's people get so hostile about it, and it's they don't even give you a chance to explain that I have a medical condition of why I can't. And, it's just one of those things that, people should respect other people's, if they got it or not. It's if you're so concerned of other people having it, then don't, stay home or wear a mask or whatever. And as far as wearing a mask, I worked in a medical lab for 11 years. The stuff that they're wanting you to wear, it's like a BB going through a chain link fence. So they're totally ineffective. And even the N95s, they're effective, but they're only effective to a certain degree. So it's just one of those things. I think everybody should just show a little bit and respect other people. And, if they don't want to give you an answer, then, respect that they probably didn't get it, or maybe they didn't get it because there's a medical issue.
Yeah. And honestly, Fabian, let me tell you this, because if a person, if I don't answer that question, they have the choice to do business with me and not do business with me, or take a class with me and not take a class with me. That's their choice. They also have the choice to wear a mask. They can mask up.
Yeah.
If you're so concerned with, catching, COVID-19 or this, the other parts of it, then, mask up, wear, go walk, put on the NBC suit. That's what you really should do, to make sure that you don't get anything.
Yeah.
So, I don't feel like I don't have to answer that question. I feel that if I answer that question, then I have to answer all the other personal questions. That's no one's business. It's, I should do what I think I need to do. You do what you think you need to do.
Right.
You know, and I don't have to talk to you. But I can lie to everyone except police and God.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that, but I ask you as as a customer, as an individual, like I ask you, and then I hope that you tell me the truth, and then I can act accordingly, and we can go from there. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I gotta mask up. But I need to know from you, and you need to just. Are
you pro-choice or you?
Yeah, I'm pro-choice. Yeah.
You're pro-choice?
Yeah, my body. Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
my body, my choice. You know what?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
absolutely.
get my dogs. I'm gonna get my dogs new ID tags. On my dog's ID tags, I'm gonna put my body, my choice.
Okay.
When my dog, we walk into the vet. If they don't want to go into the vet, that's right. They don't have to get a shot. Their body, their choice.
Okay, so then we agree that with that we agree that also businesses get to do whatever they want, right? With their business, right?
Absolutely.
You get to do what you want.
As a customer, you can do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
If
Okay,
you're worried
so-
about contracting something,
So you know what?
and you think that business is not being safe, you don't have to do business with them.
Okay, so let me
That's
say
your
this.
choice. You control yourself. You control
Right.
your actions.
Your hemisphere,
Don't try to
that's-
control other people.
Okay, so everybody gets to do whatever they want to do, and that's fine. But then you can't hang out with everybody who's vaccinated then. And if those people are the people you want to hang out with, and if they're vaxxed and you're not, you can't be mad at the fact that you're not invited. You can't be.
I won't be.
Okay, and you can't be mad
I'm
at,
good
at
with
the
it.
fact that, you know what, these businesses don't want you out here.
They have a right to refuse service.
Yes,
absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Just like for anything, you have a right to refuse service. Yes, absolutely.
So yeah.
What are you gonna say?
Oh, I was just wondering if you're vaccinated, then why are you worried?
Oh, I'm not. And the whole vaccination thing is like, and I what I don't understand is I'm over here being very concerned for the people that are not. I'm over here caring about people dying and they when they don't even care about the.
So you're worried about the unvaccinated people.
Yes, and like.
If they don't,
I am,
look, if,
but you know
if they
what?
don't care enough-
And then I
if-
think to myself, like, why?
If a person dies from this and they don't care enough about it, then I wouldn't shed a tear.
I know that's where this is the dilemma. Is that why am I over here being so like everyone? I want everyone to give because I want them to take care of themselves. But then at the same time, it's like, look, if they don't want to, and unfortunately it happens, and then they pass away. Well, then but I don't want that.
You're saying that you're worried about the unvaccinated. You're coming off like, oh, you're just worried about these people. But what it sounds like is you're worried about yourself.
No, I'm not, I already got vaccinated.
So what's the big deal? Why are you worried about whether or not someone else has been vaccinated or not? Because you've been vaccinated.
Okay, because of how we're now back at stage 4, and now the economy, and like so we're all closing back down, and it's like. Well, we're
so
closing
control
back down
yourself.
because-
Wash your hands.
Oh, and
mask up.
Oh, I absolutely.
And then you don't have
right?
nothing to worry about.
No, but as a society, as a community here in Austin,
No, it's about control. You want to be able to tell someone what to do. It's about control.
Can you spread?
not about control.
Can you spread COVID to someone else?
Yes, I can. Yes,
you can.
Yeah, you can. That's the thing that's why you mask up is so that you don't spread. You're trying to minimize the spread.
All right. Our call-in number is 512-643-5483. That's 512-643-5483. Let's go to Tony. Tony in South Austin. What's going on, Tony?
Hey, guys. Michael stole my thunder a little bit. I really agree with him that this falls on, the fact that people aren't forced to be in his store and that people have the choice. If they don't like his answer of none of your business, they can go shop elsewhere. They can write a bad Yelp review if they want to, but it would be different, I think, if they were forced to be around him. My opinion might change a little bit. But I want to talk about why I think people are asking this question, because I think some people are asking the question because they want to know if they should put on a mask or not around you. They want to know if they should stand 6 feet apart. But I think some other people, not all, some other people are asking the question because they want to judge you and they want to stereotype you. Because a lot of people who have gotten the vaccine, a lot of them have the opinion that if you don't have the vaccine, you're stupid. You're anti-science. You must be a Trump follower. you must have these certain set of beliefs. And I think people want to know who they're talking to, and they want to stereotype you and put you in a box because the media has done such I'll say a good job of stereotyping people that aren't vaccinated. And like the prior caller said, just because you haven't got the vaccine doesn't mean you're anti-vaccine, but people really want to put this anti-vaccine label on people so that they can treat you accordingly.
Go ahead.
Okay. I want to say, do you think that just you within that already, you're projecting that onto the vaccinated people? Because I'll tell you, like, I don't get the flu shot. I don't believe in the flu shot. I don't want
Shame.
Oh, right.
What?
I know. Right. Yeah.
What?
I know. I don't get that
believe
because.
in it. What do you mean you don't
What do you
believe
mean?
in it?
No.
Why don't you believe in the flu shot? Why don't you
flu
believe in the
shot?
flu shot?
No.
No, me.
Okay.
Answer the question.
Okay. Because.
Answer the question.
Yeah, this is. You can't handle the truth.
What do you mean you don't believe in the flu shot?
You don't believe in the flu shot.
Hey, wait.
Ain't no way.
I misused. I said.
That's right.
Okay. Not that I don't believe in it. No,
this is not going to be easy.
No, if you want to get the flu shot, that's fine. But that the flu, the common flu, that's a yearly thing. But this is a pandemic. This is something that
this isn't a yearly thing?
No, this isn't a yearly thing.
No?
I mean, it's appearing to be a yearly thing now, but it's not normally. But judging, I don't think anyone who's vaccinated.
Why do you not want to get a flu shot?
I don't think anyone who's vaccinated.
You don't trust the flu shot.
Right.
Why don't you trust the flu shot?
No, not that I don't trust it.
Spit it out, son. I'm confused.
Yeah, not that I don't trust it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
I'm gonna come back to you. I want you to get your thoughts together.
No. Okay, wait.
I want you to sit over there,
question.
think about your answer, and I'm gonna come back to you. All right. I want you to think about that.
Okay.
All right. We come back from the break. The question on hand is, look, am I obligated as a business owner, as an instructor, to tell my customers, my students, if I have or have not been vaccinated? This is Michael Cargill, and you are listening to Come and Talk It.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Jack Jones here, and I get my gun news from Michael Cargill on Come and Talk It.
I'm a U.S. Army veteran with a strong sense of duty and respect for our system of government. After 12 years, I was honorably discharged and decided I would fulfill the American dream of entrepreneurship and open up a gun shop in Austin, Texas. At my shop, I teach people to be law-abiding and how to safely use their firearm. On page 46, we're going to talk about Penal Code Section 46.02. The day that ban went into effect, I went into my local ATF in Austin and turned over my bump stock because I'm a law-abiding citizen. But I wasn't going down without a legal fight. So that's why I reached out to NCLA.
NCLA is representing Michael Cargill because federal agencies do not have the power to rewrite statutes. Bump stocks are not machine guns. If Congress wants to change the law and ban bump stocks, it certainly can do so. But we can't have the executive branch rewriting a statute and putting people in jail for up to 10 years.
It's a problem because, this government agency has said, you know what, something that is legal is now illegal, and we're going to confiscate it from you, and we're not going to compensate you for it, and you're going to become a criminal.
The goal of our case here is to tell the ATF that they can't get away with this kind of administrative lawmaking. This isn't constitutionally permissible, and this goes against everything that our nation was founded on.
The bump stock ban turned innocent law-abiding citizens into criminals overnight, even though they were compliant with the statute. And that's not right.
This case is not about where you stand on bump stocks. It's about the rule of law. It's about whether an agency can rewrite a statute and turn a law-abiding citizen into a criminal. If the ATF can ban bump stocks, any agency can ban anything.
Welcome back to Come and Talk It. And now here's Michael Cargill.
All right, so the question I have for you, as a business owner, as an instructor, am I obligated to tell my customers or my students if I have or have not received the vaccine? So this past week, I received a letter. I get letters all the time, and I received this particular letter in the mail at the gun store, addressed to Central Texas Gun Works, attention owner, and no return address. And inside there were 3 little cards, index cards. And one of them, the first index card said, "You, sir, just made the worst decision of your life. Please don't try to fool others to take a fake and deadly injection." People, I don't ever recall ever telling anyone if I have or have not had the shot. I don't recall mentioning that. No one knows. I haven't told you that. I don't tell anyone my medical history. That's none of your business. No, I haven't said if I have or have not had it. And I'm not going to tell people. It's none of your business. So for some reason, this person here thinks that I have, and they think that I'm encouraging other people to go do it. I'm not encouraging anyone to do anything. I don't talk about that. I talk guns. I don't even encourage people to get a gun. Well, maybe a little bit. maybe just a tad. But I empower you to empower yourself, to protect yourself is what I do. That's what I do. All right, so, but this is what I receive in the mail. My job is not to tell you about your medical history. I'm not a doctor. I'm not even an attorney. I can't even give you legal advice. Everything I do here is my opinion, but I definitely don't tell you I don't tell anyone my personal business, as far as, what I do, my personal life. That's, I'm not going to tell you that stuff. I'm not going to tell you who I sleep with. I'm not going to tell you, what diseases I've contracted, while I was in the military. I'm not going to tell you any of that stuff. So, that's no one's business. So, and this, let's go to the phone lines. My calling number is 512-643-5483. That's 512-643-5483. Well, I think we hung up on everyone, didn't we? Oops, sorry, my bad. All right, but Fabian, have you had a chance to think about your question? To think about the question that I asked you.
Which
was the flu shot. Why do you not trust the flu shot?
Right, because that's a yearly, vaccination that they want you to have. But with that, I mean, I feel like autoimmune, like that is, for me, that's an easy one that I don't need to take that. But as a kid, right, when you get into elementary, preliminary
you didn't
school.
Answer the question yet.
Oh, I know. Well, okay. Well,
answer the question. You want me to tell you whether or not I've had the
the
COVID-19 vaccine shot? So answer this question: why do you not trust the flu vaccine?
Oh, because I don't think I need it. Because I feel my immune system is strong enough to tackle the common.
I know people that say
or
the same
flu.
thing that
Okay.
you just said about the COVID-19 vaccine.
Well, then you know what? And that, so
sir, you're putting everyone in jeopardy, sir, by not getting your flu vaccine.
no, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
See, it's not that contagious like that. It's not. It doesn't. You know what? The one thing I picked up from this,
What
the whole
kills me,
COVID thing.
and
you know what I picked up?
Go ahead.
Is whenever I do get sick now, whenever I do get a cold or whatever, I am gonna mask up because you know what? What I've noticed is that when we wear a mask and we're being, we're washing our hands and everything, we're being very
cautious.
You're not spreading any cold. I have not seen anyone be sick from anything else besides COVID this year, which I'm very impressed by. And so, if in the future, if I do get sick, yeah, I'm gonna mask up.
Colds
I think
and rhinoviruses are out of control right now.
I think it is a courtesy to people to mask up so that you don't spread whatever little illness you have.
Okay.
It's not the government controlling
honestly,
me. It's not the government telling me, "Hey, I'm trying to control you."
I honestly don't have a problem with that, and I think that's what the mask is for. People that are sick should wear a mask if you are sick.
Yeah.
So that's my personal belief. I don't have a
And
problem
also,
with that.
I mean, it protects you. I know that the
But
last
am I
caller
obligated?
said,
Do I have to tell anyone that I got the flu shot? Do I have to tell someone I got the COVID-19 shot?
I think because you're a business owner, I think that
we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this. My body, my
think so.
choice. I don't have to tell you anything.
But why be defensive?
I'm
why
not
are
defensive.
you defensive about it?
I'm not defensive about it.
You
It's
are.
just- it's none
You're
of your
taking a
business.
stance. You're
Why do you
taking a
want to
stance.
know? Why do you need to know what goes into my body?
And why don't you just say no? I didn't get it.
It's none of your business. You
can just say
Why
no.
do you need to know?
Because if I want to do business with you or not. So and then now
I'm not
now
gonna
you
give
can lie
I'm
to
not
me.
going to give you the answer.
So you can lie to me.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm
And
not
now
gonna
if you
give
lie to me, then that's on you.
I'm not
Why
going
are
to give
you
you the
lying
answer.
to me?
I'm not going to give you the answer. So you choose what you want to do. Now the ball's in your court.
Okay,
So you're so
you know what?
worried about people who haven't got the shot that you want to take your business away from them and try and hurt them financially because you're so worried about them.
No, because he is not willing to tell me. So you know what? If someone doesn't want to tell me, then and you're a business owner, well then you know what? It's like then I'm just gonna walk away. And then that's on you now. Now you're losing business because you just don't want to say yes or no.
All right.
If you say no, then I can mask up and I'll still come to your class.
So if I thought that you were, you were the type of person that was having same sex sex, then and I think that you should be on PrEP. I'm going to ask you, are you on PrEP? Is that any of my business?
Wait. So wait, what is PrEP? I don't know what that
Okay,
is.
that's a pill, the medication that you take, to keep from getting HIV.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, then.
All right, so you have same-sex sex.
Okay. And then if we're gonna be intimate, and then it is your business.
We're not intimate.
Okay.
I'm just a customer.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm just a customer.
Well, then.
But it's
that
HIV though.
But that has nothing to do with the business.
It still is HIV. What if you bleed? What if you bleed when I'm at the gun range? You cut yourself, and I can come in contact with your blood. I need to know if you're going to have same-sex sex. I need to know if you're on PrEP.
Nope.
Why not?
That's different.
Why is that different?
For you? What's worse, HIV or COVID?
I mean, they're both bad.
Which is worse?
But what is more imminent? What is more imminent right now? COVID.
Well, it's going to make you cough in the next week. So let's worry about that one.
No, but hey, I would think that, okay, if you...
One's definitely going to kill you for
have,
sure.
If you have HIV or whatever, and then you're going to take precautions if you do cut yourself, you're not going to be like throwing it all over your
If
customers.
I get any sick or any illness, I'm going to take precautions. Doesn't matter what the sickness or the illness is.
Good, you should.
And it's not in my... I don't have to tell you what remedies, what I'm doing
but right now,
to
what's
keep
going
myself
on,
healthy.
There's a pandemic, and right now...
There's
I
a
think-
pandemic with HIV as well.
Yes, exactly.
My body, my choice.
Okay.
Thank you. Say, Michael, you win.
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I want to hear. What you got to say, Zach?
I'm just soaking it all in here.
Yeah, I'm not... Yeah. No,
yeah, exactly.
Fabian's over here making these arbitrary decisions on who needs to tell what and why.
No, you think that. You think that I'm not trying to
Well, you're
coerce
saying that
anything out of anybody.
Michael should tell his vaccination
He should
status
because as a
he's
business owner, he should tell his, like, you know what? He could say, you know what? You check this out. If he announced, I am vaxxed and this is a safe zone, then I think he would get more people to go to his shop because everybody would be like, you know what? That's a safe place to go. As far
That's a safe place to go with guns all over the wall.
Yeah. I mean, isn't it? I mean, you would say that it is. And also if he's being safe and, then, and he's vaxxed, he's not saying you should or you shouldn't, but it is a safe place and, all are welcome. I don't know. I mean, you can do what you want. You can say no to people, but I feel like you'll lose people because I just don't know why you don't want to admit.
Thomas says just wash your hands. That's one of the single best things that we can do. Wash your hands.
Yep, that's perfect.
Well, what do you want to say? I can't say it on the air. Wash your hands.
Effing. Yeah, you're effing.
And Thomas also says, if we truly had a pandemic, why are we being bombarded with it 24/7?
Why are we or aren't we?
Why are we?
Because it is a pandemic. That's why we are being bombarded. Because it's a pandemic.
But my question is this, why am I obligated to tell you if I have or have not?
No, yeah, right, you're not.
I think we just proved I'm not obligated.
Absolutely, you're not.
I think we proved that.
But, then let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
You didn't like those personal questions. You didn't like.
Oh, no. I'll answer whatever personal question.
All right.
Because I'm not afraid. All
right. So we've been giving all day today. I've been giving reasons on the Central Texas Gunworks Facebook page of why people should get their license to carry a handgun. Reason number 2. I like this. Got a lot of people had a lot of comments about it. Reason number 2 was to get your license to carry a handgun on September the 1st of 2021. With an LTC, with a license to carry a handgun in Texas, you will be able to drink. So basically what's going to happen on September the 1st, if you have your license, you're carrying a handgun, it goes to .08. Without a license under the Texas constitutional carry law, you don't have a license, you have a handgun, you cannot be intoxicated starting September the 1st with a handgun without a license. We'll talk about that and we'll answer some questions. So people had a lot of questions on that thread there. So we're going to answer some of those questions when we come back from the break. This is Michael Cargill, and you are listening to Come and Talk It.
Hey, this is AWR Hawkins, Breitbart News, and you're listening to Come and Talk It with Michael Cargill.
Whether it's a typical traffic stop or you're just involved in a use of force incident, encounters with law enforcement can be scary and stressful. In the heat of the moment, you may inadvertently say something you don't mean or make an inconsistent statement. These are red flags for officers, and if they think you're lying or your story doesn't add up, they might arrest you and let the criminal justice system decide your fate. Police officers are trained to get information from you without making the interaction seem like a formal interrogation. But remember, from the moment an officer arrives on scene, everything you say and everything you do will be scrutinized in court. The prosecuting attorney will attempt to use anything and everything against you. So what do you say? You say, I invoke my right to remain silent, and then let your attorney interact with law enforcement on your behalf. One important note though, do not throw common sense out the window. For example, if the intruder's hiding somewhere in your house when the police arrive, or if you saw the perpetrator pitch his weapon into your backyard, quickly tell the police and then stop talking. You might ask, what about my rights? What if the police never read me my Miranda rights? Miranda rights is the common name for a collection of rights contained in the Miranda warnings, given to suspects when they're placed under arrest. The warning comes from a 1966 Supreme Court case, Miranda v. Arizona. In that case, the court held that statements from a custodial interrogation would not be admissible unless proper procedural safeguards were in place to protect the defendant's Fifth Amendment rights. We've all seen these warnings on TV and movies. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to have an attorney. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law, and so on. So do police have to read you your rights? No. It's important to note that officers are not required to read you these rights unless you're in custody and subjected to interrogation. If the police show up to a crime scene and start asking you general questions and you voluntarily tell them everything that happened, Those statements can be used against you regardless of the Miranda warnings because you're not in custody. If you're put in handcuffs, but you say something incriminating on your own without being questioned, those statements can and will be used against you because you're not being interrogated. You're just starting to spout off. This is why it's imperative that you know your rights, and you shouldn't rely on the police to read them to you. Affirmatively invoke your rights. Say, I'm invoking my right to remain silent and my right to my attorney. Once you do that, the police legally shouldn't continue questioning you without your attorney present. But remember, there's a second part to this equation. After invoking your rights, you must exercise those rights. That means you have to keep your mouth closed. Protect yourself. Don't let the legal system take advantage of you after an incident. And Law Shield members, if you've been involved in a self-defense incident, remember to call the emergency hotline and speak with your independent program attorney.
Welcome back to Come and Talk It. And now here's Michael Cargill.
All right, so we actually put earlier today some good reasons to get your license to carry a handgun even after September the 1st. And one of the ones that we posted and talked about today was reason number 2. To get your license to carry a handgun on September the 1st, 2021, with an LTC license in Texas, you'll be able to drink come September the 1st. So with a license, it goes to .08. Without a license under the Texas constitutional carry law, 0 is the limit. You cannot be intoxicated if you're carrying a handgun and you don't have a license. So that's like my favorite one right there. And so let's go down to the question. So Randall says, this is the stupidest reason in the world to get a license. Cops see that on your license plates and stop people because they know they have a gun already. All right, so I was going to reply to Randall, and my standard reply is nana nana boo boo, stick your head in doo doo. But I'm not going to do that to Randall. So here's what I'm going to say. Randall, are you admitting that police profile people? Do we have a police profile problem? Because that's what you're admitting. So there's an issue there. So think about what you say when you say it. So on their license plate, really, my license plate say come and take it. So, they know I have a gun in the vehicle. So no, I don't have that issue. I don't get stopped just because of that. My license plates actually say gun on the license plate. Okay, I can't write any plainer than that. And by the way, Randall, if you haven't noticed, they tell me I'm black. At least that's what they tell me. So no, I've had that issue, Randall. So I'm sorry, Randall. That's not true. All right, so go ahead.
Well, you don't know who you're talking to because that's a couple's account on Facebook.
Well, Randall or Mrs. Randall or Mr. Randall. No, I'll tell them both. So Adam Mercer says, on September 1, she won't need a license to carry. So companies that offer classes for license to carry are looking for the dumbest reasons that you will need one. Well, Adam Mercer, let me tell you this.
That's interesting.
It's not interesting at all. Because here's what's happening right now.
Okay.
You have people that think that constitutional carry has gone into effect right now, and they're actually getting charged with unlawfully carrying a weapon. So they're having to take a class right now, because they thought constitutional carry had already passed. It was already, in effect, I should say. And they're actually getting charged with crimes. So they're coming to class to get that pretrial diversion. So now, trust me. And you know what? Let me tell you this, Adam. You know that Austin Bergstrom Airport is the worst airport in the entire country where people forget and take their guns through security? I would think in 2021, where we are today, 2021, this year, you would think that going to the airport, everyone would know that you shouldn't take your gun through security at the airport.
What are you supposed to do?
Hold that thought. I'll tell you that. So you would think that. But you know what? No, Adam. Okay, Adam? No, that's not what it is, Adam. What it is you have people that still go to the airport, and Austin Bergstrom Airport is the worst one in the entire country where people make this mistake. And guess what they have to do, Adam? They have to take a license to carry handgun course for a pretrial diversion. If they don't want to get convicted of a felony, to try to negotiate not getting convicted with a felony. All right. So, and your question was, what do you do?
Yeah, what are you supposed to do if you have a firearm in your I
So
guess
you
you're trying
want to travel
with it?
you
You're
want to
trying
travel with
it?
your firearm,
Okay.
and you want to take an airline. What
Mhm.
you're going to do is you're going to separate the ammunition from the firearm. You can put them in the same case,
So
but the
ammo-
ammunition needs to be in the original factory box or carton.
Okay.
The magazine needs to be empty. The
Mm-hmm.
handgun needs to be empty. You're going to put both of those in a hard case, lockable case, a TSA approved case. We're going to close that case. We're going to lock it, that box of ammunition, empty magazine, empty handgun, put that in our luggage. We're going to go to the ticket counter, inform the ticket agent at the ticket counter that you're traveling with a firearm and
Oh, yeah,
ammunition.
that makes sense.
And what you need to do is, when you start out front, make sure you can legally own and possess that firearm. Your destination, make sure you legally own and possess it. And then it gets checked. You cannot go through security. You cannot go through the metal detectors with no firearms, no ammunition,
So people just
not one
like
bullet.
they go through there without telling people, like they think they're
They
just gonna get
go
away with
through
it.
the checkpoint, through the metal detector today in 2021.
Okay.
So if people can't get that right,
Yeah.
when we've known this for years now, that you shouldn't take certain things to the airport, there's big huge signs there
You
that
can't
tell
even
you.
have shampoo.
Right. You would think this day and age, no one would make that mistake
Yeah.
of a gun through the metal detector. But it happens. And Austin Bergstrom Airport is the worst one in the entire country. All right. So imagine what's going to happen when these new laws go into effect. You need to take a class.
Yeah, I've been to the store here in Austin that actually receives all of the contraband
Okay.
objects
Don't tell them about that.
that get taken at the airport.
I can't hear you.
And they are just bins full of these things.
Are you stupid or something?
That's right. Don't tell them that. What's wrong?
The address is.
Okay. All right. Moving on. All right. So let's see. Rocky says, not to mention the fact that you are properly trained. I don't know what he's talking about there. Okay. About, having a license. Anthony says, need to work on getting all restrictions off of the Second Amendment. Kevin says, drinking while carrying is irresponsible either way.
Boom.
Yeah.
I like
You know what,
that.
Kevin? I kind of agree with you a little bit, Kevin, because I think, back in the 1800s, we kind of figured out that alcohol and guns don't mix.
I mean, alcohol and vehicles don't mix.
Yeah. So,
That's how this country was born.
It was founded. It was founded on
alcohol and horses
and a wagon.
All right. Jason says, any proof of this? I don't know what you mean by that, Jason, but come to class. We'll give you the proof. Alan says, if you drink while carrying, you're I can't say that, darn stupid. You don't deserve to carry. Can't be the designated carrier for that one night. Really? And then Ryan says, what if you have a LTC with reciprocity in Texas? Then guess what? You're good to go, Ryan. You have a LTC from another state and you're carrying in Texas? Then yeah, it's still good with that.
Is it basically the same as having a license in Texas?
That's right. All right, Alan says, but if you got a DWI, you lose it. I think he means a DUI. If you got a DUI, you lose it and takes 7 years to get it back. Yeah, so you get convicted. Once you get convicted, then it'd be 7 years before you can get your license back if you're convicted of a class B, a class A, or felony. I'm sorry,
wow.
felony, you lose it forever. Sorry.
So you can lose your weapon
Lose your
gotta
license.
your license because
Right.
you
You get convicted of a class B or A misdemeanor, you'll lose that license for 7 years. Let's see. Cesar says, I'll be keeping my LTC. Yeah, Cesar wants to drink up come September the 1st. Vincent says, which finally makes sense. So many unnecessary laws have been created by worthless attorneys who became worthless lawmakers. Also, they could keep up the appearance of doing a job that absolutely, okay, I can't say that.
Stink
at it. There we go. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate you. And then Jeff says, that is probably the stupidest reason to get an LTC. Well, Jeff, some people didn't want to get their LTC because right now you have a license, you're carrying a handgun, zero's the limit right now. So they decide not to get their license because of that reason. So now you're going to have some people, which I know it's going to happen come September 1st, with a license, handgun, you can be .08. It can't be over .08. And then someone said, hey, what if you're 18? If you're 18, you cannot get your license to carry a handgun unless you're in the military. Anyone that's in the military that's 18, 19, or 20 years old can get a license to carry a handgun and be in the military and carry a handgun. but that 18-year-old cannot purchase that firearm from a gun store. They have to get it as a private sale or as a gift. So that's how that stuff works. What do you think about that, Fabian?
I mean, that's good. That's good.
Good stuff?
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, so I love
Hey, Michael.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have tattoos?
I don't feel like answering that question.
Yeah, really? Okay.
Yeah. Why do I have to answer that question? I don't have to answer your questions if I don't want to. I like, when I get
how about this? Do you drink milk? No, it's none of my business, or
I can tell you it. I don't have to tell you if I don't want to. So I'll choose to answer that question.
Thank you.
Do I drink milk?
Thank you.
I don't drink milk, and it tends to upset my stomach.
Yeah, thank you. There you go.
So I can answer some questions. Some questions I can answer. I can choose to if I want to. It's up to me. My body, my choice.
You're not obligated.
That's right. I'm not obligated to answer any of your questions. When I get stopped by
now
police,
you're getting it.
Yes.
Now you're
You're not supposed to be answering all these questions.
Yeah, you're coming around.
You can't
now.
handle the truth.
We brought him around. He finally understands. He has seen the light.
Okay.
That's right. That's what we do here. We guide you to the light.
Maybe you have to stop judging people based on vaccination
because I know I'm at the top of the hill because I'm vaxxed. So I'm above everybody.
Is that what it is?
That's what
More
it
like
is.
a pedestal,
No,
right?
yeah. I mean, the moment I got the shot, I said, I'm better than everyone. Wow. I don't need any.
Did you post a picture of your vaccine card in
Hell
your car?
no.
Did you see
with the Krispy Kreme donut in your other hand?
No, I didn't do that.
No?
That's garbage.
No?
That's all. I don't know what that's about, but
Did you get the nightmares after the vaccine?
Yeah, and also I'm magnetic now, like Magneto.
Wow.
I'm an X-Men.
Well, wow, you feel like you have superpowers.
Oh, I have superpowers now. Yeah.
Nice. That's wonderful.
Everything sticks to me.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Fabian. I'll tell you this. If you don't remember anything, you remember this.
Okay.
More guns equals less crime. You go out there and you buy yourself a gun. You listen, Come and Talk It with Michael Cargill.